Still better than Jack's entry. We need to turn that into a meme now.
All right, man, you asked for it. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to SMG Viewers Comments episode 101. Holy shit, we are now into triple digits. Let's get right to it.
Hey Glenn, I have a question you'd probably be interested in answering. How do you feel about recording metal bands that incorporate elements of electronica, hip-hop, country, and or other styles of music? Love the channel. Cheers from Leonard Skinner Country, Jacksonville, Florida.
I think that's fucking great. I love it when bands push the envelope. I've definitely worked with a whole bunch of different metal genres over the years. I've done rap metal. I haven't really done too much electronica stuff. It might be kind of cool to do, you know, mainly because everything's going to be at least on time. That'll be nice. Electronica drummers tend to keep time real well. I've never really done any industrial metal. And the one thing I really wish I could have got to do, maybe there's still time, you mentioned Skinner, was I'd love to hear some more, you know, metal infused with some Southern rock elements. I mean, like in the early 90s, there were a few bands. There was like Raging Slab and the Boogeymen. I was a really big fan of that kind of sound. And unfortunately, it kind of petered out, which was a drag because I really thought it was cool, you know, working in like the Rhodes piano kind of sound and, you know, slide guitars and those kind of elements that you'd hear in Southern rock in a more metal context was really cool. I love working with the folk metal bands. I've done so much stuff with Protocol. You guys always hear it playing as background music. You're hearing it right now. And those guys and girl are a blast to work with, and they always work in all kinds of cool elements and keep it interesting so it's not quite as predictable. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, any band that's going to push the envelope, if they bring in different influences from different genres, you know what? Go for it. Let's make something interesting.
Hey Glenn, weird question, but do you get upset about dents in your guitars? If not, how do you deal with this after spending a substantial amount on a quality instrument? Greetings from the UK.
I've got a lot of guitars here in the studio, and quite a number of them are worth a few bucks, but I'm consider it, you know, just a part of doing business at this point. I mean, you know, they're instruments, they're tools, they're not museum showpieces. I mean, I've got one guitar I really value quite a bit. That's my 1989 Washburn 29 fret, and I pull that out occasionally. That's my guitar. That is in the house. That doesn't get used in the studio very often, and the only person who does use it is me because I don't want anything to happen to that guitar. But all the rest of the guitars I have are on stands here in the studio, and I always tell everybody, you know, if you see a guitar on a stand and you want to play it, don't even ask. That's what it's there for. Go for it. You know, like I said, if it gets dented, so what? So be it. It's a tool.
Mr. Fricker, I would like to thank you for the entertainment you provide. I look forward to your vids. Also, didn't you used to do This Week in Metal series? What the fuck happened to that?
Okay, first off, Mr. Fricker is my dad's name. Feel free to call me Glenn. I really don't like the whole Mr. Fricker thing. I've said this, I don't know how many fucking times. I am no different than you guys. I am the bedroom engineer who just never quit. So please keep that in mind, okay? Please call me Glenn. If you do see me, call me Glenn. Anyway, about the Week in Metal thing, you know, I want to do that more as a comedy thing for Metal Sucks, and I really dig what Metal Sucks does. I got a lot of respect for those guys, and I didn't end the show because of any kind of animosity or any kind of thing like that. There were two reasons. Basically, I couldn't keep up with the workload of doing a weekly news show and doing Spectre Sound Studios. It just wasn't working that way. And second of all, I wanted it to be more of a comedy series. I was kind of working off the example John Oliver set with Last Week Tonight. That's kind of what I wanted to do, except I wanted it to be about metal. And I found I was reporting about car crashes and people getting hurt and people dying. And I just can't do that. It's like I can't sit here and do stories about bad things happening to good people because that is just not me. There's other people who can do that, who've got a stomach for that. I just can't. But thanks for asking.
Holy fuck, it works! I play in a death metal band and our vocalist is a perpetual mic cover. He bought the PR-35 just to get us off his back. Thanks, Glenn!
Hey, don't thank me, thank Bob Heil. He's the one who built the microphone. It's absolutely excellent. Yes, if you have a meathead singer who just refuses to hold the microphone properly, save up and get him a Heil PR-35. He's gonna sound great. You just cannot go wrong with that microphone for handheld use. Bob Heil is a freaking genius.
Hi Glenn, recently saw a Framus and Warwick Facebook page sharing a few photos of a photo session featuring a girl posing with a Warwick bass. Quite a lot of people took it as using sexism to advertise their product, which seems to not be available for purchase. But what would you say about that? Yay or nay? You can see the photos on their Facebook page.
Well, dude, I'll tell you, I am fucking pissed. You know why? Because they didn't ask me to take the shots. For those of you guys who didn't know, I shot like the top top 2 sets for Girls of Guitar World for 2013. Personally, I like taking pictures of beautiful women and beautiful guitars. It's a good match. You want to call it sexist, you can call whatever you want it. You want to judge me for my art? Go ahead. 0 fucks are given. Personally, I think people should stop worrying about that, stop getting their panties in a twist about a girl going out and earning a living. I mean, if she's getting paid and she's there because she wants to be, what's wrong with that? Oh yeah, newsflash, got 3 items for you. Sex sells, water is wet, and bass players are idiots.
Hey Glenn, any idea why I get electric shots from my Focusrite 2i2? I just got this stuff today and I'm a total noob, even at figuring out how to get it running with Cubase. Anyway, say I connect my Shure SM57 to the audio interface. Touching the XLR plug at the SM57 gives me a small shocks. In fact, they're kind of pleasant, but that can't be normal, can it? Same goes with the instrument cables.
Sounds to me like you have a grounding issue. I'm not sure your setup. You're not telling me everything. I don't know if you're on a basement floor and you're grounding out that way when you're touching something. I don't know what the wiring situation is in your house, but that'd be the first place I'd look. If you're on a laptop, disconnect your laptop from your wall power and try again and see if you still get the shocks. If you don't, that lets you know you have a grounding problem with your home wiring and you should get that looked at by a trained professional. Do not fuck with that by yourself.
Glenn, what do you think of basses with 6 strings? Greetings from Denmark.
I think they're magnificent instruments, but I kind of question the logic there. I mean, like, fuck, why give a bass player 4 more strings than he's used to playing? I mean, like, that's just going to confuse him even more. I mean, come on, the advanced bass players out there, they're almost getting to the point where they've invented the wheel. Let's not fuck them up too badly, shall we?
Glenn, I want to win a Joyo. How about the most fucked up comment contest?
Giving away a Joyo sounds like a good idea, but I think I'd rather have somebody earn it for some actual talent other than the crap you usually spew in the comment section every week.
Ooh, burn! Oh, someone's gonna need some ointment for that one.
Love the channel, but the autofocus from 205 onward is killing me. Did you give your camera to a bass player?
No, I gave it to a drummer. Same thing.
The reason why this bothers me so much is that your production value is generally high enough so you won't be able to disappoint me in the first place. Was there a particular reason for you not to use manual focus?
Yeah, I got a few questions about that. I was using the Sony a6500 and that thing is renowned for its video autofocus, but it turns out in wide shots it doesn't work so well. In the when you zoomed in or you're doing a close-up on a subject, it's much better. Somebody even made a suggestion, make sure you manual focus in the wide shots and then stick with the autofocus in the close-ups. Okay, that's fine. One of the reasons I had an autofocus because I had a cameraman who was unfamiliar with that particular brand of camera. He was my good friend Tom Tierney. He plays drums down in the LA scene. He really great guy. Came up with me into the Hollywood Hills and we shot that there. We shot that in Malibu. Had a really great time, but Tom doesn't know the ins and outs of working the Sony camera, so I figured we'd just keep it on autofocus and we should do fine. But it turns out, like I said, the a6500 isn't that great in the wide shots. Lesson learned. Next time I'm out in the field, I'll make sure to avoid that. Thanks for bringing that up though.
Love your videos, you're really an inspiration. Just a quick question. What is the reason that people use outboard gear? I mean, I can't believe it adds that much to a mix. I can understand that it adds some flavor, but I can't believe that it's audible for most people. Any other reason?
It really depends on your perspective. I mean, like, there's a reason I still use my distressor in every single video, and that's because of speed. I don't know if I've really come across a software compressor that can match it. Of course, then again, I haven't put it up against any of the software emulations yet, so what the hell do I know? But I do like my outboard from time to time. I've got an IGS compressor. I've got an IGS take on the Pultec EQ. That thing's great. It's just another flavor. You can do a lot with software though, and I'm not saying you can't because 20 years ago, software wasn't quite there. The plugins got a lot better, especially when Slate put out the virtual mix rack. That stuff is absolutely killer. That was a real game changer in my opinion.
Hey Glenn, I was wondering what your thoughts on the TD25KV V-drum kit were as a practice kit for home. I don't want to disturb the neighbors too much, so I can use headphones, and I find this a fun replacement for my actual acoustic drums, although it looks like a large pile of plastic. Certainly not studio worthy, but as a practice kit, I find it does the job, as well as being able to play along with songs with my computer and phone, and the way you can modify the sounds is something fun to play with. And yes, fake drums from this can seem a little weird.
I have no problem with that. I mean, like, we're all creatures of our environment. I mean, like, if you're living in an apartment, you don't want to piss off your neighbors. Yeah, that can go a long way. I mentioned my friend Tom from LA. He has a Roland kit and his neighbors still bitch at him for practicing on that, even when he has his headphones on, because the tap, tap, tap apparently is too loud, which is fucking ridiculous in my opinion. So yes, you can practice on an electronic kit. Please do. I don't know if that's going to appease your neighbors or not, because your neighbors might be like Tom's and complete fucking assholes.
Hello there, random question about gimmick bands and what do you think of them? Bands such as Alestorm, Amon Amarth, and Blind Guardian. I say gimmick bands because they have a theme such as pirates, Vikings, and medieval times. Keep up the good work, hope to see you do this full time, and greetings from Alabama, USA.
You know what? I have absolutely no problem with those kind of bands. You know what? If they do something and it works, why the fuck not? I'm actually a big fan of Alestorm. You know, Set Sail and Conquer was a great record. Absolutely love the guitar tone on that record. That's actually in my top 5 heavy rhythm tones ever. Lasse Lammert's a good buddy, has been for a number of years. I was actually working with Alestorm's original guitar player, Gavin Harper, on another project he had called Couché, and I was doing reamps for him. That was just before Alestorm took off. They were originally called Battleheart, and they were put together as a joke band, and it just kind of went. And now they have a fucking career. Well, Gavin quit after the first tour because of quote-unquote financial reasons. Yeah, girlfriend. But great fucking band. I love their videos. I love the whole shtick. It's fucking killer as far as I'm concerned. Good for those guys.
The drums in that pickup comparison sounded so perfect that I could barely pay any attention to the guitar sound. Good job, Glenn.
Thank you very much. I had a little bit of a breakthrough on that one. Honestly, I wasn't too sure how the drum sound was going to go over on that demo because, you know, hey, I can't tell what people's perceptions are going to be. I mixed that a little bit differently. Turns out it was the right way to go. I'm going to do an episode that on the very near future that's going to come along and how to mix heavy drums, and we're going to do some A/B comparison. I'll show you guys what I did and how to avoid what I was doing and make things sound that much better. Stay tuned.
Can you do the same for drums? Buy a cheap set and put on new heads, get decent cymbals, and tune it all nice. It will be as good as buying an Unreal kit.
That video has been in my queue for a while. I'm just looking for the right kit. Yes, I'm going to shoot out a cheap used drum set versus my DW Collector's Maple because I think that's a question that really does need to be answered. How good is an old, used, cheap set in the studio? I really want to see it. We're going to put it up against the very best I've got here. That's definitely going to be a video worth checking out.
Thank you so much for telling me about the Kirsten Dunst turning Japanese cover. Without you, I would have never known.
You're welcome, dude. All I can say is make sure you've got plenty of happy tissues on hand because that walk from your computer room to the bathroom is kind of awkward when the parents are home. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. If you like my show, please support my Patreon. Every little bit helps. I'm going full-time this summer with this, so I'm relying on you guys to help out and make this show a reality. Meanwhile, I've got a 48-hour shirt sale on this for this weekend and this weekend only. High gain, low tolerance. And if you go through some of my archive, you can see the episode that inspired this, but I thought you guys might like this design. It's going to be available this Saturday and this Sunday only. I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this episode. If you like the content, please support the channel either at my SMG shop or through my Patreon. If you want to see more, hit one of the playlists. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.